Here we go. Another podcast. Welcome to the Grapple Daily Show. If you guys want to support Grapple Daily, if you guys want to support the channel, okay, one way you can support us is through Digitsu.com. The link is in the description below. It's an affiliate link. If you click and shop there, we can get a commission to help support what we do. So, Digitsu.com. Your online source for quality martial arts instructionals, okay? Instructionals from Abraham Marte, Eddie Cummings, Matt Darcy, Bernardo Faria, many great instructors out there, high level instruction. So, it's definitely worth it. Invest in your grappling, okay? Again, like I say, stop spending money on dumb stuff. You don't need to buy ice cream all the time. You don't need to eat out all the time. Buy groceries, save money. Right? And when that money's saved, you can get these instructionals to invest in your grappling. Use Grapple Daily. That's Grapple Daily 10, actually. Grapple Daily 10 for 10% off. Okay? So, again, think twice before you spend your money. Think about bettering yourself. You don't need to renew that subscription to PH Premium. Maybe you can watch a little Netflix, don't renew that subscription to Netflix, you can if you want to, but whichever way, if money is an issue, find ways to save money, invest in yourself. Go to Digitsu.com to invest in your grappling, okay? One other thing, MMAWarehouse.com, affiliate link is in the description below. If you're going to buy gis, Rashguards, Spats, shorts, soap, whatever, or any kind of gear if you train MMA, go to MMAWarehouse.com. Tried, tested, and true. They've been around forever. They're, my experience with them for the last 10 years has been flawless. Okay? Go to the link in the description below. If you're in Canada, you spend more than $149, you'll get free shipping. If you're in the States, $49 or more, free shipping. How cool is that? If you're going to buy your stuff, guys, go buy it from a company that supports grappling, that supports MMA. Okay, go to MMAWarehouse.com. Link is in the description below if you read the descriptions, okay? Next, if you're going to take supplements, get it from Myprotein.com. Affiliate link is below in the description. They work with Informed Sport. They make sure that none of their products contain any banned substances. So if you're going to get your vitamins, fish oils, BCAAs, creatine, go to the link down below, okay? The affiliate link to myprotein.com. That helps support us. My personal favorite is their Impact Whey Protein, okay? They got 20 plus flavors from butter pecan, chocolate caramel pretzel, chocolate brownie, French toast, glazed donut, rocky road, white candy cane, chocolate, vanilla, strawberry, unflavored if you're into that stuff, many more, right? And the ultimate one that's popular amongst teenage boys, Boston cream pie. It is the most searched up dessert among teenage boys. I do not know why they keep searching up cream pies. Maybe a lot of them are gonna become bakers or make their own. Use VIP35 for 35% off. Link is in the description below. And where do we train? We train at Gracie, Humaita, Winnipeg. 181 Stradbrook Avenue, Winnipeg, Manitoba, R3L0J4. Go to graciewinnipeg.com. Fantastic gym, fantastic instructors, fantastic people. You'll have no problems there. If you're a beginner, it's going to be an awesome experience for you. You don't have to worry about anyone acting tough or giving you a hard time. If you're a seasoned grappler, high-level training, okay? So come down, train with us. It's a fantastic gym. Our guest today is a Brazilian Jiu-Jitsu black belt. He's under the Renzo Gracie lineage. Okay, he is a part of Renzo Gracie Mexico down there. He is Alberto Serrano. He's known for his awesome breakdown technique videos. Okay, and when he has technique videos, he's good with videography, so he really highlights all the fine details of the technique, when he has his videos. He has a YouTube channel, he has an Instagram, he shows his techniques, he puts a lot of time and effort in in making technique videos but showing every single angle and every single detail on it. And I really urge all of you guys to please listen to this episode because when he was starting off with his gym, I mean, he was having a very hard time. He talks to us about how when he started his gym, he only had 5 students. His wife or girlfriend at the time was pregnant, so he's expecting a family. And he was only making about 300 US dollars a month to support his family. Um, of course, it's kind of hard starting a new school. Your girlfriend's pregnant, and you're like, crap, man, how the heck am I gonna support all this? But still, he believed that starting his jiu-jitsu school was the right choice, which brought him to where he is today. So he talks about his struggle. He talks about the jiu-jitsu scene down there in Mexico, what it takes to run a successful academy, especially in a country where jiu-jitsu is not so mainstream. Okay, we know that their national sport down there is soccer and boxing. And he also talks about McDojos in Mexico. Apparently, there's some honcho down there that's walking around with a fake coral belt. So he talks about that as well. So yeah, please do listen to this episode. And half of the interview was actually lost. We had trouble with internet connection. I don't know if it's because he's down there in Mexico or maybe it's because my version of Zencaster is not that great. I'm using pretty much the free version, but we're trying to bootstrap this whole thing for Grapple Daily as much as possible, not spend a lot of money trying to build this business. And kind of like Professor Alberto, just put in a lot of sweat equity to try to make this thing work. So we try to piece the interview as much as possible. You'll notice I'm stuttering like a fool half the time because during the interview, I can barely hear him. Like it's pure static. I can make out a few words here and there, but we did our best to like salvage the interview. You'll notice when we start, that's actually where we were halfway into the interview. So apologies for that, but I mean it's still great content. I mean it's almost an hour long. So yeah, without further ado, give it up for Professor Alberto Serrano. Enjoy the show, guys.
Welcome to the Grapple Daily Show. Here's your host, Jebo.
Professor Alberto, are you there?
Yes, I am.
Okay. All right. I think
Okay.
we should be good now.
Okay, awesome.
Okay. So you mentioned that the gym failed because I guess the rent was too much. They weren't able to keep up with all the expenses.
Yeah, it was more on the part of the fitness gym, like the whole gym, but like the MMA program and the Jiu-Jitsu program were doing good at the time.
Okay. So so when the gym closed down, all the students, were you the only coach though at the time?
No, there was this MMA coach. He does MMA and Muay Thai, but when it closed, he got like this offer. Some sponsor offered him to pay for a month of training at Bini Magalaes
Mm-hmm.
gym.
Mm-hmm.
So he decided to put on hold like all the MMA gym and stuff. And he moved to, well, he went to Las Vegas to train. And meanwhile, I was like, well, I can't be waiting for this guy. So I just got a space and I bought some mats and started teaching.
Oh, okay. So, I mean, how are you able to get money to start everything? I'm guessing you probably had to save up before you can start teaching, or I mean, I'm sure the mats were expensive.
Uh, we started with puzzle mats,
Hmm.
and actually, I got those from a friend. He was like, I'm not using this, so you can have them and you can pay me back later. So I didn't have to pay like for the mats up front. And the space, like the restaurant that my dad had a lot of like, there was like this unused
Mm-hmm.
space behind it. So like I started teaching there, but it was a small space. Like we only had like uh 21 square meters of mat space. So I we were like only
Oh,
seven
wow.
guys in there.
Okay. So I'm assuming people couldn't roll all at the same time. Some people had to sit out pretty much.
Yeah, that's it. Later on, we moved to a bigger place, so now I have a much bigger team now.
Hmm. So when you started your academy and you're using the empty space behind your family's restaurant, what did your family think when you told them, I'm going to start teaching BJJ or I'm going to start teaching jiu-jitsu?
Well, my dad was okay with it because actually I was like going to teach at his house, and he was like, "No, no, no, no! Like, why don't you use this space?" So for him, it was better. And my mom, like, she has always supported me,
Hmm.
but she wanted me to like get a job related to what I studied, which is design.
Hmm.
But I decided to go like after jiu-jitsu.
Oh, okay. Fair enough. So how many students did you start with? Like how many students came from the MMA gym to start training with you?
They were like 5 or 7 guys at the beginning.
Oh, okay. And then how did you like I mean, how did you set up everything? I mean, like, did you think of a price to charge them, or did you first started training them for free? I mean, what was the process when you first started off?
Well, I tried to look like for similar prices, and even though like I charge the same as some like established gyms charge, but I could do that because since jiu-jitsu was really small, like when it came like to technique wise or like credibility, like the other professors didn't have it. So I
Oh,
could
okay.
charge like enough money and to save and then move to another place.
Okay. So you were a brown belt at the time.
Yes.
Hmm. So I'm guessing you had more credibility than all the other people in your region, pretty much, since you were a brown belt.
Yeah, basically, and there were all other brown belts, but like all the tournaments in Mexico at that time, I was winning everything in Mexico,
Hmm.
so I was kind of like people kind of knew me who
Oh,
I
okay.
was.
So you already had a name established for yourself because of all the tournaments you competed in.
Yes, yes, here in Mexico, I did at the time.
Mhm. So from five students, when did you, I mean, how did the gym begin to grow? I mean, did you do any marketing? I mean, did people just start hearing about you and they came over? I mean, how did it begin to grow?
First, we moved to another place because the restaurant of my dad wasn't doing that well, but the location was really good, so he got an offer uh, to lease the place. So he told me like you have to move, and so I moved, and I had some money saved,
Hmm.
so I bought like a bunch more mats. And actually, it was kind of hard, and part of why I started doing the videos because I was trying to like make more money because I got my girlfriend pregnant, so
Okay.
uh, our baby was coming, and I was making like almost no money. Like I was making uh, like 300 USD dollars a month,
Oh,
so I
wow.
was like in a tight spot. Yeah, so that's why I started like I try to make like a web page, kind of like Jiu-Jitsu times and all that stuff.
Okay.
And then the videos, but like the videos started like I don't know if it was the videos or like the marketing I was trying, but with the time, like more people began to came into the gym.
Wow. Okay, that's pretty crazy. So
Yeah.
you're in a tight spot there. So, I mean, when you started those videos, I guess was that the start of the YouTube channel when you were doing those videos?
Yeah, like the YouTube channel started like, uh, well, I actually had two BJJ YouTube channels before that one. One was called Drill Team,
Mm-hmm.
and uh, they were in Spanish, and the other one was like for my team for Gracie Mexico.
Mm-hmm.
And the channel started with another name. It was called Jiu-Jitsu Virus.
Okay.
And as I told you, I tried to make like this kind of Jiu-Jitsu Times website, which had the same name. Yeah, but when
Mm-hmm.
I was like, no, this is not working. Like I stopped like doing the website and the channel. I kind of forgot about the channel,
Mm-hmm.
but I did breakdown video of Eddie Cummings, which was quite popular. So I had like 1,000 subs there. So when I decided to start making these videos, I was like, well, I already have some Jiu-Jitsu subscribers in there, so I'm going to use that channel, and that's how I started doing like those videos.
Okay, I see. So, man, that was such a tight spot. So you're making $300 a month. You have a family. You have a family on the way.
Yeah,
I mean,
yeah, it was really hard, but I think that like right now I feel like I'm in a really good position because like I can provide for my family, and I also like I basically travel once each month uh, to compete outside. And
mhm.
I think that if it wasn't because of that, I would be like in the place I am now, like because I had to work like a lot and promote the gym, etc. So I probably wouldn't be like in the same spot I'm now. I'm now if it wasn't for that.
So when you were in that spot at that moment, I mean, how are you feeling? I mean, how are you able not to? How are you like able to keep your composure and just not panic? What am I gonna do? And you know.
Yeah. Well, obviously I was kind of scared, but like I don't know. I think I'm kind of stubborn,
Hmm.
and I was like, no, no, I'm going to be able to provide for my family through jiu-jitsu. Because I mean it wasn't like I don't have like at the time I already had a
Hmm.
degree, so I could have looked for work in that area. And also my dad was like, let's start like another restaurant together, but like I wasn't interested in either of those options, so I was like, no, I'm going to make like jiu-jitsu work. I know I can make it work.
So you knew that was the right path, pretty much. Like if I just worked at this, everything's gonna be better.
Yeah, I mean, I didn't knew, but like I said, I'm pretty stubborn sometimes.
So how many students did you have at that time when you were, I mean, trying to make the gym work and then you had a family on the way? How many students did you have at that time?
At that time, I only had the ones that came with me from the MMA gym, like those 6 or 7 students.
Hmm.
Those were the guys that were with me at the time.
Okay. Wow. Okay.
So it wasn't like a lot.
Okay. That's a lot of pressure. Like I got a
Yeah,
lot of
yeah,
people
I
would be
know.
like, I'm so screwed. I only have 7 students and I have a family on the way. What am I gonna do? So, I mean, what did you do to promote did you give out flyers? There's a lot of word of mouth. Did you do discounts?
Yeah, it was bad. I think like word of mouth
Hmm.
was like what helped me the most because like I was doing good in competitions, and I also my students were starting like to get noticed, you know. So actually most of my students uh, come from like other schools that don't have
Hmm.
like really strong competition teams. So so they came to my school like looking to improve their jiu-jitsu and start winning tournaments, etc.
Okay. So your students started doing well in the tournaments. That's how people started to notice your school pretty much.
Yes. Yeah, because also like since the sport is like uh small but it's getting popular, we also like we have a lot of McDojos like in every country, but there are a lot of guys that they just want to
Hmm.
because even if it's not that popular, I think it's one of the most popular martial arts. So a lot of taekwondo teachers or MMA guys
Mhm.
like think that it's easy to teach jiu-jitsu, so they just start schools. And a lot of guys sign up, and after a while they start to go to tournaments and they get like eliminated like in 20, 30 seconds. So they think like, well, like like something is not right,
Okay.
you know. So they start looking for other options.
Mhm.
So like most of my students come from other schools, like where that they realized that they weren't getting like really good instruction.
So a bunch of guys that think it's easy to train MMA or or teach grappling, and then they start teaching. I mean, and then they see that their students get absolutely smashed in the tournament.
Yeah,
Um, was there a lot of them back in the day, or is there a lot of them right now?
yeah, there are a lot of guys like that, like a lot.
And then they think they can teach. So they
Yes,
have like no, so their lineage or their accreditation is like it's not valid.
exactly. Yeah, there are guys like were like purple belts, and then like after a year and a half, there are like black belts now, and they're running like this school or this other school. So like, there's a lot of stuff like that.
Oh, okay.
There was like, so you get an idea. There was this guy called Master
Mm-hmm.
Rudy, which was like this like 60 years old, who had like this coral belt, and he claimed to be like a black belt from like Hickson or something like that. Like I don't remember who exactly he was claiming to be under, but yeah, this guy was like pretending to be like a coral belt, like not even a black belt. He came with his coral belt into town to start teaching. So we get stuff like that, like regularly.
Wow. So he came out of nowhere with a coral belt, and then he totally lied about his lineage.
Yeah, yeah, yes.
Okay, so it was like a scam artist, pretty much. But did he have legit jiu-jitsu though? Like or like?
No, no, no. Like, I mean, there is probably some videos of him teaching in YouTube. Like if you search for Master Rudy BJJ, you might be able to find them. And I mean, it was like bullshit technique, like 100%. Like, I sorry, man, but
That's okay.
like I mean, it's laughable. Like you look at that, like knowing jujitsu, and you laugh because like it's really really bad.
Wow. And then there's a ton of them pretty much down there.
Yeah, like I mean, that was like the most extreme case. There are other guys like uh,
Hmm.
that had some grappling experience and start teaching jiu-jitsu, but they don't really know jiu-jitsu. That's like the most
Hmm.
common thing we get, but there are some guys like that who claim to be like something that they aren't.
Um, so Professor Alberto, you still there?
Yeah, 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 yeah.
Okay,
I can
all
hear
right.
you.
Okay, it just cut off a little bit. So
Yeah.
regarding, because you're a legit black belt, so who gave you your black belt or your lineage, pretty much?
I got my black belt from Mario Delgado. That's
Hmm.
my professor's name, and he's a black belt on their Henso.
Oh, okay, so he's a Henzo Gracie. He's a Henzo Gracie black belt.
Yeah,
Okay.
yeah, he got it straight from Henso.
Okay. Did he train in New York, pretty much, or?
Yeah, like I mean, if people in Mexico think that we had it rough, like my generation, I think my professor had it even harder because at that time there were literally like no jiu-jitsu here. Like he would go every certain time to train at New York, and then he
Mhm.
will come back and like just train whatever he learned in his trip like endlessly, and also he will help himself sometimes with tapes, and he will alternate between New York and Mexico.
Oh wow, that must have been expensive.
Yeah, yeah,
Wow. Okay, so he really studied to get his black belt. So
yes.
in your opinion, what's the hardest part about running a school? Because I see that your school is probably very successful right now, and I see it on the videos. What can you say is the hardest part about running a school?
I think like the beginning it's like the hardest part, like getting some student base, and also like making them stay,
Mm-hmm.
because like new people come all the time, but sometimes it's hard to have a good retention of the students. So like you have to try to make it comfortable for the new guys and all that stuff, because like once they get hooked on it, like they pretty much stay for a long time. Well, I think the problem is like hooking that student into staying in jiu-jitsu.
Okay. Why do you think the retention is such a problem? Is it because jiu-jitsu is so hard? Is it because the training partners just smash him on a regular and he gets discouraged? Or do you think it's because of poaching from other gyms?
I think it's because like probably because it's a sport that is hard at the beginning. Like there's so much you have to learn. It's not like, for example, other martial arts like I don't know Taekwondo, where I mean you have to kick. And there are strategies and everything, but you can boil it down to a really basic thing like, okay, I have to hit and not get hit. But in jiu-jitsu, it's like you show them like an escape, but when they
Hmm.
escape, they are exposing themselves to something that they didn't even knew that existed. So probably that's why it's so hard at the beginning.
Oh, okay. So pretty much they have such a hard time, because the minute they learn to escape, they don't know that there could be like three other submissions waiting for them when they get out of there. Um,
Yes.
so how do you make it? How do you make it? How do you allow a new student to basically stay and make it comfortable yet still challenging for them in order for them to stay?
What I do, and actually I got this from Hansel one time that I was talking to him, like he came to give a seminar.
Hmm.
Instead of uh, letting them roll when they begin at the beginning, I do them. Well, we do a specific training. Like instead of like live rolling, it's like, okay, you're going to get mounted and you have to escape, and then you mount the other guy and you have to submit him. And we pretty much do that like for a month and a half or 1 month, and
Hmm.
after that we allow them like to start rolling. And I also pick like their for the new guys, I pick their partners. I'm like, okay, you're going to work with this guy, or you're going to work with this other guy.
Okay, I see. That's actually a smart idea because it can get their conditioning down and help them get acclimated to doing the escapes and before actually rolling. Because sometimes.
Yeah, they kind of get to learn like all the positions that they could get themselves into
Hmm.
without rolling
Hmm.
and getting discouraged because of it. And it also prevents like there are guys like the like two striped white belts who are eager to be able to crush someone, you
Hmm.
know. So sometimes that discourages others, like the new students. So it also prevents the fact that I pick their partners is to prevent that from happening, like someone going like really bad on another person.
So, how do you pick their partner? Do you pick like, let's say they're brand new? Do you pick like experienced purple belt, or do you tell the purple belt ahead of time, hey, this guy's brand new, kind of show him the ropes, or do you give him like a blue belt, or
Yeah,
like?
like I have like some blue that like most of my upper belts like from blue and above are like I don't have to tell them like to don't be like uh mean to this guy. Like they are really helpful and they try to teach them stuff while they're rolling. So I just pick like someone like a blue belt or a purple belt and ask them to work for 1 round with that guy.
So you don't put white belts together, pretty much, and then you don't let them just go crazy,
After a while, yeah, like when they're past the 3 month mark, I let them like roll with whoever they want to. But the first few classes, like I choose their partners.
That's actually a smart move because I mean, one time we had a new guy at our gym, and I can tell he's really new, and he was drilling with us the technique. But when it came time to rolling, I don't know who he rolled with before rolling with me, but by the time he got to me, he was really like breathing hard, and then he didn't look too. He looked really pale, like he was
Uh
gonna
huh.
vomit. So I didn't know if he was ready for like rolling. I think his cardio wasn't really up there, and he looked
Yeah.
really sick. And I was just like, I thought that I thought he was gonna caught me when he was in my guard. I was just like,
Oh
I
man.
was like, oh great, this is not gonna go well for me. So I have to check up on him and stuff. But ever since then, I don't know how many classes he went to, but ever since then, he never came back.
Really, yeah, like a lot of that happens, and I mean, I have had guys that were like, at the beginning of the class, they were like, "Yeah, I have a really good cardio. Like, I run marathons every month or something like that," and like they even before we even started rolling, they will be like almost puking outside. So yeah, like that, those kind of things discourage people. So I try to like to make it easier for them.
Yeah, because it's totally different because you're using different muscles, you're moving your body differently, so it's not the same as if you just go for a run. Like it's for some reason it's more tiring.
Yeah, exactly. Like, yeah, or I think it's different because, for example, I can roll for 2 hours, but if I run like for 5 minutes, I'm like, like I think it's different.
Yeah, that's true. That's one way of looking at it. It's totally different. It really depends. Because like some I know some guys that just hate running. They're like, I'm not gonna run. But they can roll for like
Yeah,
an hour straight. So
yeah. I'm one of those guys. I hate to run. Like, I don't like it at all. Like, I don't see the point on running for exercise. But I mean, I know a lot of people like it, but I
oh,
don't.
okay. So, I have another question for you because you mentioned that a lot of your higher belts are helpful. Did you ever have to deal with
Yeah.
a student that had a bad attitude that came to your academy?
Yeah, we had to deal with. I mean, it was like, uh, it didn't happen at my gym, but at one of my affiliates. So the guy
Mhm,
that I mentioned at the beginning, the MMA coach, the one that went like to Las Vegas, he
mhm,
later came back and was teaching at one school that now was my affiliate. So he started like rolling with a white
mhm,
belt, and he like he heel hooked the white belt, but like bad, you know, like like I saw a video and you could tell that there was malice in the move. Like it wasn't an accident, and he actually hurt his knee of the white belt. So we had
oh,
to deal with that because he will teach at that gym, and he will then go and train at my gym jiu-jitsu because he wanted like to improve his jiu-jitsu. So yeah, that
mhm,
there was a problem with that, and in the end we had to like
mhm.
tell him that he couldn't train anymore because of that.
Oh, okay. So you guys had to kick him out pretty much.
Yeah, pretty much. Like at first it was like when I heard about it, uh, and people told me that it kind of looked intentional. I like told him like he was going to be like suspended from doing jiu-jitsu like 6 months. Like he could teach there, but he couldn't train jiu-jitsu. But then I saw the video, and at the end, he stopped. Like we had to kick him out.
So how did he react when you told him, "Hey, you can't train at our gym anymore. You're hurting white belts. I mean, that's not cool."
Yeah, he excused himself. He was like, no, no. He obviously told me like it was an accident. But after watching the video, and also like there are like uh, WhatsApp chats for everything now.
Mhm,
So he had like this WhatsApp chat with his Muay Thai students, and he
mhm.
actually told them like he told them like he did it on purpose because like he was like, no, the jiu-jitsu guys always like invade our space, and we have to like show them and stuff like that. So that's like the main reason why we have to kick him out.
Wow, what a
And yeah, I mean, later he found out that someone like showed us like his messages, and like, well, he like kind of accepted it. Yeah, but he was also pissed like when he learned that someone like talked about it.
wow, what a douchebag.
So yeah, it was like a delicate situation.
Wow, that okay.
There must be something wrong with that guy mentally, because that's a really douchebag move.
Yeah, yeah. He and it wasn't like the first time like he hurt someone, but it was like the first time he did it like training jiu-jitsu. Like I don't know if like what's bad with him, but yeah, that happened. He will actually like hurt students at his class when teaching. He will be like, "Okay, I'm going to show you like this move," and he will show them like three times, like really slow, and then out of nowhere he will punch the guy with the move, like but like full force, and then he will be like, "Oh, sorry, sorry," like I don't know what happened with him.
Sounds like a crazy person. That's what he sounds like.
Yeah,
Like he sounds like a guy that shouldn't be training martial arts. That's sounds like a real
yeah,
douchebag. Like that's like the type of guy you don't want at your gym. Like,
yeah, exactly. So yeah, that was the reason why we had to let him go.
hmm. Was he like how was he? Was he like a big, like muscular, like douchey looking fellow with like pink hair or something, or did he look like a
He actually was like on the lighter weight classes. He actually was lighter than me, but like he was like muscular, like he had muscles, but he was like small guy. But yeah, he didn't like jiu-jitsu that much at the beginning. Like he will be like, no, no. It's one of those Muay Thai guys that think that jiu-jitsu doesn't
okay?
work. It's like, no, no, that's not for me. And then he will train for a while, but never like really serious and stuff like that.
Oh wow, what a okay, yeah, that's a real terrible, that's a terrible human being, pretty much. Yeah, screw that guy.
Yeah, yeah, but I mean, the white belt is fine now.
Hmm.
Like he had to do some rehab, but like he's a blue belt now, and he actually have won some tournaments outside the country, so he's doing
Okay, so
well.
that's good. So, aside from him, was there any other problematic people that you had to deal with, or that was pretty much like the worst ever that you had to?
I think that's the only one that we had to deal. Uh, there were some other cases, but of crazy people that trained that I knew, but that was when I was a student. Like it wasn't like I was just a spectator. So like it was like
Mhm.
someone else's responsibility to handle that.
Did you ever had any problems with people poaching students from your gym, or like recruiting from your gym to join their gym?
Uh I recently it was not really a problem, but I have I'm really open-minded with letting my students train wherever they want. Like if they want to visit another gym, I allow them to do that and stuff like that. And they used to train like uh, at another gym because my gym is far from where they live, so they will train some days there. And actually, like one of the guys there was like told one of my white belts like, if you switch teams here, I'll give you like a blue belt. But my white belt declined,
Hmm.
and he didn't tell me. The ones that told me were his friends, but they were like, yeah, he got offered like the white belt, but he declined it, and he keeps coming here. So it was all good. Like I didn't have like any problem, and I think that's the only time where I had problems with poaching or something like that.
Okay. Because it like if you go to the States or if you go to Canada, if there's like a lot of gyms in the area, sometimes poaching is like a big problem. I remember Professor Robert Drysdale told me on an episode, someone was actually giving out T-shirts in his gym to go train at another gym, and he had to like shut that down.
Really?
Yeah, it was that bad.
Oh, that is crazy.
T-shirts of another gym getting handed out in his gym, and he had to like shut that down because it got to that point. It was so bad.
Yeah, like you definitely had to. Yeah, that's bad, man. Yeah, yeah. Like I mean, I don't know if more of my students have been offered like to switch gyms, but like I think that most of them, or I think that all of them are pretty happy. Like uh, training with me.
So, how do you keep your loyalty with your students? Like, if you were to give someone advice, let's say someone, is teaching right now, they have like, small group of people. How do you keep them loyal to you?
Well, I have always thought that loyalty is like a two-way street, and I have seen professors that just demand loyalty, but they are in some ways not loyal to their students. So first of all, I will advise people like to to like show them that it's like a two end deal. Like I'm loyal to you and you're loyal to me. And also like if so I also try like uh it's not only about loyalty, like it's about in the end of the day at the end of the day it's like a service, like you're teaching. So I try to teach the best that I can and do my job uh, also the best that I can so that my students and my clients are happy with it. So they don't have to move like somewhere else. Like if some of my students were like to leave, instead of getting mad at them and being like, oh, like these guys are like uh, robbing my students or poaching my students, I will actually look at what I'm doing wrong that is causing them to leave for somewhere else. Because just demanding loyalty also like for example those McDojo places that I talked to you, like I mean they can demand loyalty, but the student now is in a position where he knows that he's not getting
Hmm.
like uh actual technique, like real technique or like legit jiu-jitsu, but they are going to be called unloyal if they move to a place that offers that.
So that's actually a good way to keep everyone loyal. So, if I know you'll know this answer, but so if someone were to start their own gym, like, and let's say they think they're going to be a good instructor or they want to start their own gym or whatever, what do you think is what's your number one advice to give to them for them to grow their gym steadily?
Well, I think like offering like, and not only for gyms, but for like any other business. Like I also try to give this kind of advice to my wife with her business that she started and everything. It's like to focus on giving like a quality service and charge accordingly. Like because sometimes
Hmm.
I see other gyms like trying to charge less, like a race to the bottom, and they focus so much on getting people to sign up and all other like stuff that is also important. But like for me, the most important thing is like if I'm teaching jiu-jitsu, I I want to teach it in a good way. Like I always plan my classes ahead of time, and I try to do like these programs. Like this month, we are going to look at De La Hiva. So there is a structure in the classes. It's not like I just show up and teach some random move that I watch on YouTube or something like that. So if you offer a good product, like your clients, they like even if they are a few, they're going to be happy. And I think that also word of mouth is one of the best ways to advertise. So they're going to bring more people.
Okay, cool. So, uh, Professor Alberto, we have to like probably wrap this up soon. So, for those listening, how can they
Yeah.
support you in
Okay.
everything that you do, pretty much? Because I know you have a
Yeah.
Instagram, YouTube. How can we support you, pretty much?
Well, if you want to follow me, in Instagram, my handle is ASGBJJ, which is like the initial letters for my name, Alberto Serrano Gobea. So it's ASGBJJ. And on YouTube, I'm Alberto Serrano BJJ. So you can follow me there, and if you want, you can also like join. I have a Patreon where I upload like exclusive techniques each month. So if you want to take a look at that, I will be happy to have you there.
Awesome, awesome. Okay, so there you have it, folks. Support Professor Alberto on his Instagram, his YouTube, and his Patreon. Okay, he has exclusive content that you can access, and pretty much better your game because his videos are awesome. Okay, you guys got to check it out.
Thank you very much, man.
That's the main thing. That's the main thing I noticed about you. Your videos are awesome. I'm such a big fan. That's why I hope you don't mind that we repost it on Instagram from time to time.
Oh no, no, don't worry, man. It's okay, man. I don't have any problem with that. And thank you for supporting me and like for watching the videos. Like actually, something I like a lot. It's like I mean, some guys post when they get these kind of messages, but I don't like to do it. But every now and then, I get like a message on Instagram or on YouTube, like telling me like, oh, I was able to hit this move. Today, or I feel that uh, you helped me with this part of my game that I was struggling. So it's nice to know that I'm able to help people with that.
And I think that's the best part whenever you put out your videos because you know that it's actually working for all these other people that they're actually hitting it in live rolling. So that's really cool.
Yeah, I really like it a lot.
Okay, so Professor Alberto, thank you again for the opportunity to talk to you. This was a big deal for me. So thank you again.
No, thank you for having me, guys. Like it was a pleasure and an honor to be with you guys. Thank you very much. I really appreciate it.
All right, awesome. There you have it, folks. Support Professor Alberto. Check him out: YouTube, Instagram, Patreon. And until next time, be safe out there. Peace.